You woke up this morning and before your feet touched the floor, you checked your phone. Maybe it was Instagram. Maybe it was YouTube. Maybe it was just notifications, a stream of tiny signals telling your brain that something, somewhere, happened without you. And for a few seconds, it felt good. Then you put the phone down, and nothing felt good anymore. Not the coffee, not the morning, not the work you were supposed to start. Everything felt flat, gray, like the volume on your life had been turned down to almost nothing. This is not laziness. This is not a motivation problem. This is not a character flaw. This is what a dopamine-bankrupt brain feels like. And there is a very good chance your brain is running on empty right now. Here is what is actually happening inside your head. Dopamine is not the pleasure chemical. That is the first thing almost everyone gets wrong. Dopamine is the anticipation chemical. It is the signal your brain releases not when you get something, but when it thinks you are about to get something. It is the feeling of reaching, not having. The chase, not the catch. Your ancestors got dopamine hits from finding food, spotting a mate, solving a survival problem. These were rare, effortful, genuinely meaningful rewards. Your brain released dopamine to motivate the chase. And the chase was hard. It took energy, skill, and time. Now think about what you did this morning. Neuroscientist Anna Lembke at Stanford has spent years studying what she calls the dopamine economy of modern life. Her research shows something that should stop you cold. Every time you scroll through a feed, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. Every notification, every like, every autoplay video. Each one is a tiny, effortless dopamine pulse. And because they are effortless, they come fast. Faster than any reward your brain was ever designed to process. And here is the problem. Your brain is not built for abundance. It is built for scarcity. When dopamine hits come too fast and too easily, your brain does something automatic and ruthless. It downregulates. It reduces the number of dopamine receptors to compensate for the flood. It turns down the volume. It recalibrates what counts as a reward. And suddenly, nothing feels rewarding anymore. Not the big things, not the small things. Your brain has seen too much, too fast, too easily, and it has quietly decided that most of life is boring. This is dopamine bankruptcy, and it is not a metaphor. It is a measurable neurological state that researchers can observe directly in brain scans. Think about the last time you tried to read a book for 30 minutes without checking your phone, or sat through a meal without a screen, or simply sat with your own thoughts for 10 minutes without reaching for something. If those things felt almost physically uncomfortable, that is your dopamine-bankrupt brain reacting to the absence of stimulation. Your baseline has been raised so high by constant digital reward that anything below that threshold now feels like deprivation. Psychiatrist Robert Lustig at the University of California calls this the pleasure-pain balance. Your brain works like a seesaw. Every time you tip the seesaw toward pleasure, it swings back an equal distance toward pain. That swing back is the flatness you feel after a binge session, the emptiness after 2 hours of scrolling, the inability to enjoy anything real after a morning of digital noise. The more you tip it toward easy pleasure, the harder and further it swings back. And here is the truly uncomfortable part. The things that would actually make your life better. Deep work, real connection, physical effort, creative struggle. These require a dopamine system that is sensitive enough to respond to them. But if your baseline has been artificially raised by 100 effortless hits before 9 a.m., your brain cannot feel them. They do not register. They do not motivate. They feel like nothing. You are not broken. You are overstimulated. There is a difference. And the fix is not another app, another system, or another productivity hack. The fix is a reset. Andrew Huberman at Stanford has studied dopamine regulation extensively. His research points to one core principle. If you want to feel motivation again, real motivation, the deep kind that makes you want to build something and finish it, you have to allow your dopamine baseline to drop. That means deliberately choosing boredom, not as a punishment, as medicine. Here are 3 things you can do starting today. The first is a dopamine fast for the first hour of your morning. Before you check any screen, before any notification, before any content, give your brain 60 minutes of low stimulation. Walk outside, drink water, sit with your thoughts. Let your dopamine system wake up slowly, the way it was designed to. This single change, practiced consistently, has been shown to raise baseline dopamine sensitivity within 2 weeks. The second is to delay the reward. Whatever task you have been avoiding, the one that feels hard and effortful, do it first before any easy pleasure. Your brain releases the most dopamine not during the reward, but during the effort toward an uncertain reward. When you do the hard thing first, you prime your dopamine system to associate effort with the hit. Over time, effort itself becomes rewarding. This is how driven people are made, not by willpower, by neurological conditioning. The third is to remove the dopamine floor. The reason your brain cannot feel smaller rewards is because your minimum level of stimulation has been set too high. Every time you reach for your phone out of habit, not need, just habit, you are raising that floor. The fix is friction. Put your phone in another room. Delete the apps that give you the fastest, cheapest hits. Make the easy rewards slightly harder to access. Your brain will not like this. It will feel like withdrawal, because neurologically, it is. But within days, your sensitivity begins to return. The coffee tastes better. The quiet feels interesting instead of threatening. The work pulls you in instead of pushing you away. Your brain was not built for the world that is being built around it. Every app, every platform, every notification system has been engineered by teams of neuroscientists and behavioral designers to extract as much dopamine from your brain as possible, as efficiently as possible. This is not an accident. It is a business model. And you are the resource being mined. But here is the thing. You woke up this morning and checked your phone before your feet touched the floor. Now you know why that felt good for 3 seconds, and why nothing felt good after that. The trace was always there. You just needed to follow it.